Welcome to Annals of the Irish. Moor Abbey was founded by Donough O Briain, King of Thomond, in the early 13th century as a Franciscan friary. The Franciscans became one of the most popular religious orders in medieval Europe. They followed the rule of Saint Francis of Assisi, with vows of poverty, austerity, and service to the poor. Francis wished them to become pilgrims and strangers in this world. What does that mean? They should avoid temptation in this temporary existence and instead focus on seeking reward in heaven. In the late 15th century, the founders descended Alphon MacBain of Arlow had the church rebuilt, though it was burned the following year. The church is a simple design, with a nave and chancel that are divided by a bell tower. The tower appears to have been constructed around 15th to 16th century. In 1540, after the dissolution of the monasteries, the friary and the lands was sold to John of Desmond for £15, but the annual rent is 4 pence. It was used as a garrison during the First Desmond Rebellion in the reign of Elizabeth I, and it was burned by Sir Humphrey Gilbert's horsemen in 1569. The friars returned to Moor Abbey in 1570, but the spiritual homecoming ended in horror. When Sir Henry Sidney found the friary had ceased to be a garrison and was now back in the friar's hands, he ordered it burned. What happened next was related by the Franciscan priest and historian Father Donough, who wrote an account in 1617. The English soldiers suddenly came and surrounded the place, so that there was no way for the brethren to escape. The holy man went up into the bell tower of the church with his two companions. The soldiers made a fire to burn the church and tower. Then the holy man, so that he might save the church, freely descended. The soldiers loaded him with blows and wounds, and at length struck off his head. Then a marvel was seen, for when his head was cut off, no drop of blood flowed from his body. When the soldiers saw this, they cut his body to pieces, yet no blood flowed. The friars returned to Moor Abbey again in 1645, but once again driven out and went into hiding for 5 years when the abbey was shelled by Cromwellian forces. Following that turbulent spell, they settled back into life here until the mid-19th century. In 1921, during the War of Independence, the Royal Irish Constabulary attempted to blow up the church to prevent its use as a position by the Irish Republican Army, but they did little damage. Around a decade later, Moor Abbey became a national monument, and extensive repairs were carried out in the 1930s.